Hey, today I'm interviewing very great, vibrant people that believes firmly in marketing. There's the board there. There's the board there. Hope you're good. Welcome to the Motivational Drive Show, where we bring you great men and women who make great impact within their space, people that are being innovative, people that are causing waves around their field within their industry. And with me today, I've got very great gentlemen. What I'm very excited about is that they're from the very same hood that I'm from, and we interviewing people that are from local. Most of the people that I've interviewed are from either somewhere else. So today I'm very much excited. I've got two directors here with me of a very great company. As you can see, one thing I love firmly is this gentleman believe in branding. So you're gonna learn a lot about branding. I'm quite certain of that. I'm with me, my brother, a very great gentleman, Abud Saki. I call him Abud. Obviously he's a brother to me. I look up to him. And Abud Boyo, doing very great, exceptionally well. As you can see, branding is very key. Welcome to the Motivational Drive.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for the time to just share a bit of your insights. Now, the first question that I have for you before anything else is branding. Why do you guys believe so much? I mean, almost everywhere I go, I see a Chillers on Wheels van. Why do you believe so much in branding?
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Branding, my guy, it's very important. It's the heart of the company, of any company.
Okay.
Because for you to exist, people must know you. And for people to know you, you must be visible, you must brand yourself.
That's true.
Yes.
And you've accomplished very well, very well. I would say, may you please just explain to anyone watching here what is Chillers on Wheels, because they see or there's branding Chillers on Wheels everywhere, but some might not know what exactly is Chillers on Wheels.
Yeah, thank you, Charles, once again. Chillers on Wheels was funded in 2014 by both of us. When we started the company, Chillers on Wheels, to chill means to get cold, to get cool, So when we started our business, we started with two mobile cold room trailers.
Okay.
So that's where the name Chillers on Wheels comes from. But as we expanded throughout the years, that's when we saw a big gap in the mobile toilet industry as well, because most of our clients were looking for toilets and we had to outsource all the time. So that is where the mobile toilet hire came from. So the name Chillers on Wheels, I think we were sitting one day, Liboyo, and we're like, what can we call ourselves? And we're like, let's get a funky name, But we ended up with the Chillers on Wheels name, and then we've went with it since from there.
And you're so different from all these mobile toilet hires everywhere, because everyone is trying to do it, right? As you can see, every house where you go, you just see one toilet. But the difference is, they just written mobile toilet hire and then cell phone numbers. But with you, it's like it's VIP. Like it doesn't even seem like it's a mobile toilet hire. What do you think separates you from the boys? Because I'd say you guys are the men and the rest is the boys. What do you think separates the men from the boys within your industry?
Now I will speak for ourselves, for Chillers on Wheels. We are building a brand.
Yes.
Yes, we are building a brand. That's what we are doing. We are building something that even the next generation will benefit from it. We are not just doing something that
Yes.
something, but we can do. We are building something tangible that our great-grandchildren, they will come and get it and see it appeal.
And I think that's the difference, because, Abu Saki, yesterday when we met and I asked him to do the interview, he said a very profound statement, which is true. He said, within our township, within our community, within our province, the moment you say Funi, before you even say Ral, someone will say Chillers on Wheels, because obviously a funeral needs refrigerators, needs toilets. Yeah. And that's true. I mean, I've never seen, I hardly see any funeral around any wedding that I don't see your refrigerators.
Yeah.
And I must say, man, congrats for that, And what kind of business strategies do you use? Because obviously you share with me a lot. So what advice would you give that most entrepreneurs that are struggling are not using that you're implementing within Chillers on Wheels?
I think the one thing most entrepreneurs need to know is that they need to do their research on the market that they're in.
Okay.
I think other valuable lessons is stick to one thing,
Yes. Oh, wow.
Meaning, don't get too stuck in one thing. I think great wealthy business people, your Richard Branson,
Yes.
your Warren Buffett, you know, they stuck to one thing, they made it work, and then they moved on to the next. So I think the main challenge that we're having with the young entrepreneurs, Gore, they want to have their hands in so many things at the same time. Unlike focusing on one thing, making it a success, and then moving on to the next one. So that would be my advice to most of these young upcoming entrepreneurs, you know. And I think also the road to entrepreneurship is not an easy road, you know.
Yes.
You need to have a lot of discipline. You need to have a lot of self-control, you know, to run the race. So it's not an easy road, I can say. I don't know. Do you have something?
I know you said more fully. And the one thing along worrying, us as youth, we don't want to do is to build something from ground. Because building something down, upwards, it's hard. And most people, they don't want that.
Yeah.
And the joy, and the one thing that they're missing is the joy of building something from the foundation up to the roof.
That's true.
Because foundation, it has so many challenges on its own. So that's the main reason about people don't want to build something from the ground.
That's very true. And just to add on what you said, most people want to be jack of all trades and a master of none. You know, it's been one of my missions for just since December and throughout this year. Or you know what, I'm going to live on Matthew 6, verse 22, which says that if the eye is single-minded, the whole body will be full of light. And the thing is, we want to keep our eyes on everything. Whatever what people are eating, you want to put your feet there, tender there, bit of one fridge here, one taxi there, one, and you end up not being known for anything. You know, and you a very great fan in terms of developing the community that you come from, which is mainly Seshego, wherever we are right now, right? Why the passion of youth development? Because every time I'm with Abud Saiki, I haven't had the opportunity to spend so much time with you, Abud Boy, but every time I'm with him, he tells me about the vision that he has for Seshego mainly, the youth. Why do you have such a passion for developing the community that you come from?
I think from my side, growing up in the township, we experience so many challenges. You know, we are where we are because of God's grace. I think Nale Boy, we grew up having the same challenges. You know, I was a cricket player, but I couldn't even have proper playing gear. I don't remember even owning a cricket bat to play with. So for me, I think if we build our society, if we invest more in our people, that is when we'll have a better township. You know, that is when we'll have more scientists, more doctors coming out of the township. So for me, I think it's just a passion that I was born with, to say, you know what, whatever that I make out of what I have started, I need to share it with my people. Because you must remember, the same people that we give back to are the same people that support our business, are the same people that are going to make our business grow. These are the same people that we employ. I think so far we've even went and employed about 6 local people. So we're actually contributing to the local economy. We're trying to change lives through the business that we both have started. So I think the passion is just about people, you know. It's about growing our people. It's about changing the mindset and letting them know that, you know, you can achieve whatever you set your mind to, you know. It's said in a great quote that whatever the subconscious mind can think, the conscious mind can create.
That's true.
So once we can accept that and understand that coming from a township is actually an advantage for us, you know, that is when we can actually excel and move to greater levels. Because, I mean, look at your great brands like your ShopRite, your Pick and Pay. They're going into the townships now. That is to show that that is where the money is. So if, even from our side, run the economy locally, then we can move globally and move as a unit.
I like that. And just before, I ask you, because I see a ring on your finger, just before I ask you about balancing family and business, how do you do the two? I just want to add, you mentioned about employing 6 gentlemen, which is very much great, and I love the fact that they're all from the community. And you always tell me something every time I meet you, that you've never had a salary within your company for a very long period of time. It's only recently that both of you as directors have received your own paycheck, but you've been making sure that 6 people receive a salary. Please, both of you, may you please emphasize on the importance of an entrepreneur being the one that eats last, because, you know, entrepreneurship recently, especially on social media, has been glamorized, as I would say, could say. It's like, you wake up, it's all about holidays, suits, nice life. It's all about lifestyle in Jay. It looks like you the one that's having all the fun.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is building a hardcore business, it's all about this.
Yeah.
You building, and then you recently, just after over about 4 years, you recently received your first paycheck. And that's a true established businesses. That's a story I've been carrying, and not what I see on social media. Please just emphasize on that, please.
Firstly, Kore, as soon as you have a grace of having a good partner,
Yes.
a good partner is in me and Saki, a partnership, whereby you have same principles, you believe in one thing,
Yes.
not everything, but mostly the core thing, you believe in them. That's where your business, it will be easily run, because me and Saki, we agree on most of the things. When you say, my man, this is what we're doing, let's build our brand. This is March. It will be our third month getting a salary.
After
So,
how many years of
After,
establishment?
since 2014.
So it's 5 years.
5 years.
I hope sorry to cut you, but I hope an aspiring entrepreneur that's listening to this is really getting this.
And it's not even a lie or something. It's what the man that we eat, me and him. It's when we are with the guys, we're buying same lunch. We used to do that. So as long as you and your partner, you believe in one thing and you set your goals, you follow those goals. That this is what you're doing. We are building a brand here. We are not doing a lifestyle thing here.
No.
Because lifestyle, what people don't see, they can just see a toilet that we posted nicely. But when we clean those toilets, they don't see that.
Yes.
They don't see that. But the hardcore that we are doing behind the scenes, people, they don't see.
Yes.
And right now, because we are building a brand, we know what we're doing. Building
Never, I've never seen that.
the new
No.
Bonang thing,
Never.
repostile whatever, because we know what you're doing. We're working for money. We know how hard we get in this money. So there is no way that we can just flash it overnight.
Yeah. And I think we need to have more entrepreneurs like this, and then we'll have a solid economy. Because if the government keeps on empowering so-called youth who just want to see money coming in from the first month, we've got a problem. Because if an entrepreneur can hold on to an idea for 12 months without receiving a paycheck, it shows that we're building South Africa.
Yeah, I think the greatest thing is that to remember is that through this 5 years, the one principle that we've always worked with is no one is going to fund us unless we fund ourselves.
Wow.
And that gave us a lot of discipline. I think even if you have $500 in your pants, a client has just paid you, you'd feel so guilty for having that money that the next place that you're gonna go is go to withdraw it straight at the to deposit it straight at the bank. I think it's just the discipline, the vision as well. So far we have never went to any agency to look for funding. We have never went to any bank to look for funding. But now banks are looking for us to come and fund us because now we are funding with. We've built a good network. We've built a good credit profile. So it's good for us. The 5 years have actually been hard. But we had one vision in place, and we stuck to that vision. We never moved from it. All we had to do is alter there and there, but we stuck to the main vision, which is turning Chillers on Wheels into a global brand, the leading mobile toilet hire in the south of Africa, and that remains the plan even going forward.
Look, I think youth needs mentors like you, because everything that I hear that's so wrong from the seminars that I've attended from the youth is so opposite from you. First of all, every youth tells me about how they need funding. You guys don't need that. So it's just about the mindset. Youth tells me, I just want to make money. You're not all about that. So I think you everything that's so opposite from all the youth that I've met that's trying to be established in business.
Yes, because funding to us, you can't be looking for funding on your first project that you want to build. Yeah, there's no way that you can look for funding for something that, for typical example, you approach me, you tell me about your business, and you want me to fund it. I want to fund something that is alive, that I see that this thing has a potential. But something on a paper, even a bank, If you can go to a bank without anything, they say they want to see your bank account.
Yes.
How much did you make? How much did you take out? If you don't have nothing, they won't even fund you.
That's
They
what
won't even
every
give you a
investor
loan.
wants to know.
Credit worthy. They can't even give you a cell phone. They tell you that you don't qualify.
That's true.
Yeah, I also think that a great man once said, "No man wants to climb into a stationary taxi. Everybody wants to climb into a moving taxi." So if you find yourself in one position and you're not moving, no one will want to invest in you.
That's true.
That's why we're having so many departments saying, no, every year we're sending back a lot of money
Yes.
because young people don't come and apply. It's not that they don't come and apply. It's because they're not funding worthy.
Yes. Every investor wants
They
to
are
know
not
what are your
meeting the
numbers.
requirements.
Yes. What are your numbers? How much are you turning over? How much is your net profit? Those are the questions that you'll get asked. But if you're not familiar with these terms, then no one is going to invest in your business. So that idea that you have, break it down into small components, build it up until you get to that level that you want to go into. If you want to go into property, real estate, start renting out rooms, man.
Wow.
That's where you start. You don't start by having a 2 million rand townhouses that you sell. No,
That's really
you start by renting out your local rooms. If you have to rent the whole place out, it's fine, and rent them for a higher price, that is also okay. But start somewhere, build that credit profile, build that network so people can know what you're doing, and build your brand. And then from there, that's where you can start dealing with the 2 millions, the 5 millions, and the 10 millions.
If you're trustworthy with little, you'll be.
Yeah.
Because
And
the
then-
funny thing is, you'll hear a person say, I'm looking for me to start my business, I needed 2 million.
Yeah.
Firstly, how are you going to manage 2 million whereas you couldn't manage 2,000?
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine. So do you have a vision of going public at some stage, years from now,
Public as in?
listing it on the Joburg Stock Exchange?
Oh,
Definitely.
Oh, wow.
That's the initial plan.
I like the way you answered both of you.
Yeah.
That's the
And
initial plan.
you've touched a bit on another question that I had on the line, which is about partnership. You've touched about how you are similar, which I'm sure it's also one of the things that make it work. But let me just formally ask it. How do you maintain partnership in a world where people are stabbing each other at the back, people don't trust each other anymore? That's why people don't want to do business with family and friends. How did you maintain such a good friendship within the business?
I think, sorry to
No, it's
interject.
fine.
I think the greatest thing that two people can have is principle.
Wow.
Once your principles are aligned,
Wow.
it's much easier for you to take certain decisions, you know. Once you include God in every single
Yes,
thing that you do,
yes.
then that is when things become easier. Because for me and him, it's like a marriage.
Wow.
It means so far we would have been turning 5 years in our marriage.
Anniversary.
Wow.
And I think before we were business partners, we were great friends. I know how people always say you can't mix friendship and business, but I believe that is actually a great platform because wherever I lack, he adds me up, you know? And that's what people don't get, that the things that make you different are actually the things that can make business work for you
Yes.
guys.
And now for me, it's just the grace of God.
Wow.
Because, so many people, people actually don't believe in partnership.
Yes.
If people will tell them about partnership, they tell no, partnership don't work. They stabbed each other at the back. They did all kinds of things to each other.
Yes.
But us, we are here for 5 years now. And I think if we couldn't break within that 5 years, nothing can break us now. Because there was a point whereby we didn't have money, both of us, but the business had money.
Yes.
There was a point whereby we used a personal account. We used a personal account, Yasagi, that I didn't see any SMS, the money that was going in or going out. But I trusted him with
Wow.
that. And he didn't
Wow.
betray me with
Yes.
even a single cent. If he wanted 20 rand, he'll tell me, my man, hey, I need 20 rand, I want to do 1, 2, 1, 2. That's the level of partnership. That's why I'm saying God's grace is the one that brought us this far.
Yeah, and I think just to add on, for young entrepreneurs that are coming up, it's
Yes.
very important to test whether your business is going to be viable or not. I think we spent the first 2 years of our business, the business wasn't registered.
No
We
bank
didn't have any bank account, you know,
Yes.
because people get it twisted when
I
it
love
comes
that.
to
I love that.
when it comes to
Love that.
doing the administrative part
Yes.
of a business
Yes.
and actually running a business. Running a business is money in, money
I
out.
like that.
That is running a business. But registering a business is actually the administrative part
Yes. Yes.
of having a business. So we spent 2 years putting the money under the mattress,
I like that.
making sure that the business is going to be viable. Today we don't have any returns from the bank to say no, you have missed a debit order, because we knew how much we were working at roughly
Yes.
a month. And then after 2 years, that's when we opened our first bank account, and then we've been going ever since.
Well, I think I love that because I always try to emphasize it, but unless because most of our youth are trying to do tenders and obviously they require papers first. But business, as you said, is money in, money out.
Yeah.
So this thing of going to say a PC with an idea
No.
and then say a PC requires you to have a bank account, it's 500, 175 for registration. You've already spent about 3,000 and then your company doesn't work, it goes dormant, you lost about 3,000. You know, so but that's a topic for another day to dwell on it too much. I want to ask you, my brother, because I see a ring on your finger. How do you juggle marriage and business? Because most people, they don't have a balanced life. If their business is succeeding, their spiritual life is declining. If their, you know, marriages, there's always an imbalance. How do you balance family? I heard that you're a firm believer. You mentioned God, spirituality, and business. How do you maintain balance?
It's all it's grace, man. It's grace. Firstly, to find a suitable partner that
Yes.
understands and supports your dream. What you tell her your vision, that this is where we're going, my love. This is where I want to take you and the kids.
Yes.
And then I want that dream. I no, my love. Understand what you say, and I'll support. Yes, at times I feel like no, maram talk, but at the end of the day, torela why one,
Yes.
everything you muchang and you be transparent. And because one of the things they want to come into businesses, they are not transparent. They are not honest with themselves. They cheat on their wives. They do all kind of things. But if you love your wife only, only, you don't have any problem. She trusts you. When you tell her love, today we are going to deliver toilets at Palabora, Marula Fest. He doesn't have a problem.
Yes.
He knows that my man went to Palabora to deliver toilets there. So she doesn't have any reason not to trust you.
Yes.
When you tell her no love, this is the amount that I brought home today. Chilas on Wheels gave us this amount. But she appreciates that. She's very happy and she's more than happy, because when she sees that for 5 years, she will tell you that, hey, I've never seen this such money in 5 years. You've been working. Thank you. So it's just a matter of you being honest with yourself and your partner.
I love the fact that you mentioned that Chilas on Wheels gave us this money. And the next question would be about what me and him, every time we have a conversation, we speak about separating yourself as an individual to the business. Because most people just withdraw. They treat the business as if like it's their own money. So you mentioned the statement that leads me to my next question. Why do you say Chilas on Wheels gave me money when it's your company?
It's not my money. It's
Okay.
not Sagi's money.
Wow.
It's Chila's money.
I love that.
Currently now, if you check my bank account, I have 500 rand.
Oh, wow.
But Chila's on Wheels have a couple of digits
Yes,
on it.
yes.
I don't have it. It's Chila's.
Yes, wow.
Oh, and that's the main objective.
Because most people can't separate the two, I would say.
No,
That's
no.
why. Well, that's what kills most of businesses from onset.
Yeah, I think also it's a mindset. I think entrepreneurs need to equip themselves with the relevant information, with the relevant courses, which will tell them that a business is a different entity on its own.
Yes.
You know, you need to run it separately. You can't just make withdrawals from the business as you please. The business needs to pay you individually
Yes.
your own salary.
Your
You know,
salary.
you can't just be withdrawing from the business because
When you feel like.
yeah, because even when you look for funding, the bank will still look at your bank statement and see how you're running your financials, you know. So you keep your business separate and you keep your money separate. And that is when you're going to be able to juggle your things much easier. Because you can never know. You will find that you are a liability to the business and the business is an asset to you.
Wow, I like that.
Yeah.
You spoke, sorry to cut you, I'll come back to you just now. The last time I met you, you were reading The Richest Man in Babylon. Why? You spoke about mindset. Why the importance of developing yourself as an entrepreneur, reading books?
Look, if you want to be, but if you can't join them, beat them.
Yeah.
So basically, the saying is just saying, think like them.
Wow.
You must know, like the 4 marketing P's. You must know where your clients eat, where they sleep, where they drink. You must know everything about them if you are targeting them, if that's your target audience. So if you want to be wealthy, you will want to know how wealthy people think and what they have done that is so different from everyone else. So I think equipping yourself, I think from both of us, what mostly we have learned is through books like The Richest Man in Babylon, Why We Want You to Be Rich by Robert Kiyosaki and Donald Trump. All those great
Keep
books.
them coming. Maybe recommend more.
All those great books are there just for us to equip ourselves and understand what it takes to be an entrepreneur. You know, because I can say some of us are not born with this thing, but you can prepare yourself for it and know the challenges that come with it. So even till today, you read about certain things in certain books that when they occur in your business, you already know, oh, this is what happened to Robert Kiyosaki 10 years ago, and you would know how to avoid it or how to best deal with it, if I can say that.
Any book you're currently reading, any book you want to recommend to our...
I think the first book that people must read, it's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You see that book? He read it, I read it.
Wow.
That's the first one that people...
But be careful, please avoid chapter 8. It's network marketing.
he doesn't like network marketing so much.
I wanted to chip in on that point of money and the banks. Separating yourself from the bank. You see, immediately, if you can understand how, when you personally, before coming to the business, how when you go to dealership, car dealership, how they take your payslip, your bank statement, compare them, checking you if you are credit worthy, if they can give you a car or what. That's how business operates. Because if you don't have anything in your account as personal, where and all one, they won't give you. So what about business? If me and Saigu feel like, hey, we are at the mall and then we see, hey, this is a nice sweat. We take a business card. We swipe that sweat. And we want to eat, we are hungry. We want champagne. With that same account, what's going to happen? When we say, no, we want to buy a toilet now. They say, no, the toilet is 300,000. We want to purchase that. We want the bank to finance it. Then we give them the bank statements and the financials. When they match them, they will see, you guys, you are full of playing. We can't give you this thing because this is what you're doing with your money. We can't risk our money. Because bank, one of our friends, Jay, told us, banks are not your friend. Banks are not your friends.
Wow. No, we must interview that Jay. No, but if there's one thing that I've learned, a few things that I've learned from this interview that I'll highlight because I've learned so many things. But I just want to mention these ones and you just add on the list and emphasize more. Reinvesting back into the company, number one. That's why we see so many marketed material. And then also in terms of taking all the money that you have, stashing it back into buying toilets, buying the company products, and then also emotional intelligence in terms of not just going to the mall and just getting what you love, and then also in terms of creating employment. I also learned in terms of building the community that you come from, and I learned also in terms of making sacrifice in terms of being the last one to eat. Can you just add also what you want to emphasize that someone watching this must take from both of you as entrepreneurs?
I think also you must, young people need to understand that as entrepreneurs, we live a separate life from ordinary beings.
Wow.
We are not normal, ordinary beings.
Wow.
We are here for a change. We are here to come up with solutions. I mean, I was just thinking yesterday already, there's load shedding now. I doubt there's one black company that can give us a solution right now. Most of the kids are playing koditrateng, most of the kids are in bars, some are drinking now. But as young black people, we need to understand that we're capable. We can do it as long as we reinvest in ourselves and we also spend time equipping ourselves, getting ourselves ready. I mean, there's a fourth industrial revolution that is coming. But my one question is, who's that fourth industrial revolution? Because from my thinking, we're still at level 1 industrial revolution, because most of our kids are not even aware of what's happening. So what basically we're saying is that we're letting the Germans, the Chinese into our own economy, and then that's when they'll have control over us. So basically what I can say is, let's equip ourselves, let's get ourselves ready, man. We can take over. You know, things are changing, and when things change, markets change.
Yes.
Businesses that used to work 5 years ago won't work today. But as black people, we need to be at a point where now we can have systems that work for us and work for this time going forward.
Now what I can say is young entrepreneurs that are already doing it now, they must just keep on doing the great job, and they must make sure that they are advanced with the new technology that is coming. And one of the things that it's killing us as a society, it's young people, they've decided to surrender to drugs, alcohol in particular, because now if you go to any sport or a shebino or a tavern, you'll find young guys now at 3 o'clock or 3:30, they're busy drinking their brilliant ideas away.
Yeah.
So we really need to check ourselves on that, to think, because young blacks, they're brilliant.
Yes.
They're really young people who are brilliant and they can do it. But because of the mindset that you are in, it's a problem.
That's true.
Yeah, I think just to add on, sorry to interject, we need to remember that building a brand takes time.
Yes.
And what I'm saying to you is that for us to be one of the leading toilet hires in the south of Africa, we might not even reap the rewards. Our children might come and reap those rewards. But we are at a point where we started something. So always remember that whatever you're building, whether you are a chef, whether you're selling shoes, whether you're washing shoes, it takes time, it takes creativity. You know, it's not about having the money, it's about what you do with the money once you have it. That is where the entrepreneurial part comes in.
So a true leader is actually one that would plant a tree knowing that they're not the one that's going to enjoy the shade.
Yeah.
You know, and that's exactly what you gentlemen are doing.
Yeah.
And you know, thank you so much for the interview. And you mentioned about how our youth are drinking their ideas away. God gives each and everyone a day. We've got at least 1,000 ideas that if we implement on would make us millionaires, would make us make great impact. But we're not. But I think also society plays a role in that, because he mentioned something that moved me yesterday. He said he went back to where he schooled. I don't want to mention the name of the school. And then when he saw on the wall something that he wrote, you said 11 years ago.
Yeah.
11 years ago, it's still on the walls. That's why the thought of Chillers on Wheels as a company are going to paint the schools, you know, which is a great initiative. But I think it's also society. I mean, why the government must do something about this. Toilets can't have the same things that were on the writings, but it's also us as a society, not only saying government. Because like what Chillers on Wheels are going to do, set an example for other companies that are getting profit, making money from the same community, to take some of the money to develop the same community. So thank you so much for the great interview. I really learned a lot in about 32 minutes. I really learned a lot. You know, in conclusion, anything that you'd love to say in conclusion?
Young guys, young entrepreneurs, just make sure, believe in yourself.
Wow.
You can do it. There's nothing impossible.
Yes.
Me and Saki, we are from the same hood. We are from Seshego, Zone 2. We are doing great things. We are doing great things through God, and believe in God. Be a good, big believer in God. He will turn water into wine, my man. Don't worry.
Wow, I like that.
Yeah, I think from my side, the best advice I'd give to young entrepreneurs is that, like I said, whatever the subconscious mind can think, the conscious mind can create. You know, God has created us all for a different reason. You know, but He's the only manufacturer that knows why He created us.
Wow.
So to everyone out there, just find your purpose. Once you have purpose, you have meaning. And once you find your meaning, that is when you'll be able to excel and grow in your domain.
Wow, you've got a funeral, you've got a wedding, you've got a celebration. Do make sure you check out Chillers on Wheels, www.chillersonwheels.com. check them out on social media. Check them out, both of them, social media handles.
Yeah, Saki Mabala on Facebook, Saki Mabala on Instagram, and then email. You can email me at saki@chillersonwheels.co.za.
Boyo@chillersonwheels.co.za. On Facebook, Boyo Diketso. On Twitter, Diketso Boyo Mashile. On Facebook, on Instagram, Boyo Diketso.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Do subscribe to the channel. Share with us what you've learned from my brothers, Abut Saki, Abut Boyo. Do leave a comment. Until then, we'll meet again. Cheers.